Hello everybody, this is Daga Seda, pretty snazzy walkthroughs, Majora's Mask, 3 hearts. And right here, we have the first sub-boss of the Great Big Temple, and he's arguably one of the... He's harder than most of the bosses, actually. The only boss that's really harder than him is... Well, I guess the final boss is pretty hard, and then there's the boss of this temple. But this guy, he's called Wart, I believe. And he's more annoying, and it's kind of hard to do with only 3 hearts. You kind of got these bubbles that are constantly bouncing around and always hitting you. And if you get under him, you can repeatedly do spin attacks, you can knock away a bunch of the bubbles, but it's kind of dangerous since you'll be taking damage from touching the bubbles in the process of doing so. But I've always found that one of the best ways to do this is either knock away all the fins, the boomerangs, because you get a whole bunch of them at once. Or also you can use some sort of explosive thing, like the blast mask and magic arrows, like fire arrows or the other magic arrows you'll get in the game. You probably already guessed what they were, because they're the same exact ones they had in Ocarina of Time. And this game is really good with its simplicity, as in it doesn't have all these really fancy items to try to be cool and stuff, you know? Right, and this is one of the reasons you're definitely going to want a fairy, because this fight always seems to cause me unnecessary raising of my blood pressure. And though there are a couple of hearts lying around the room, so if you're dying, you might want to use them. So here, this is the part where I decide to start experimenting a bit, because this is probably I'm not too good at this fight, to be honest with you. And I have no idea if see I'm gonna knock away there. I have no idea if hitting them with a fire arrow actually would do more damage, other than just the fact that it's fire. But whatever. So yeah, this fight, it's just. I could go on and on about how much I really don't like this fight. And also, the one bad thing about using the arrow is if you want to shoot him in the eye afterward, you have that like brief second of you can't hit him yet because the animation, the fire is still going. This is the main reason I really wanted to have max magic, but I already did at that point. And see, yeah, now I can't hit him again because of the... I think the main reason they do that is to prevent lagging or something like that. I don't know. This was just an N64 game, but the graphics were pretty good. Excuse me if my sound got messed up for a second there because I had to reach down or something. Yeah. It's my hands. I always feel I have to be doing something with my hands when I'm doing something, you know? I'm playing with a wind guard for my mic here. I don't know why. Whatever. Okay, so another strategy you can use is to kind of start pulling those bubbles off with a hook shot, which it's not nearly as effective as the other 2 methods I was using, but it still works, I guess. But it'll take much longer. Alright, so after a couple of hits in the eye, he'll start rolling around the room, and this is where it gets even more difficult because you got every single bubble just kind of running around here, and he's rolling around, just trying to constantly in your way. But the goal is to hit his eye, and strangely enough, he only does a quarter of a heart here, and I think I die. Yeah, this is why I really wanted the fairy. Fairies, if you're doing a 3 heart run, you should always have at least 1 fairy on you for these unexpected inconveniences. I could have easily just run around the room and gotten a... See, yeah, once everything starts going crazy like that, then you've killed him. Ta-da! And now we're going to get the important item of this temple. Excuse me. I am... well, throat's all weird for some reason right now. I open the sesame of the chest, and we have... ice arrows. Yeah, ice arrows can be used to freeze enemies and objects. Stuff like that. Like, one thing it's useful for is it can make you a platform on the water, which is essential to getting some of the fairies and progressing past some parts of this temple. And also, you're going to need it in a moment here. In this last room, well, wait till I go in there before I start talking about it. Equiption. And yes, they also use 2 magic points to use. So they're pretty similar to fire arrows. I think here, yeah, I'm just stocking up on magic because I'm going to need it later. Alright, so while you were in this room, if you remembered when you jumped onto or climbed onto this platform over here, Tattle was saying some sort of hint. If you read it, it'll say, maybe we can use that Octorok to get up there, but we can't jump on it because it's all squishy, implying that you should freeze it and make it not squishy so you can climb up it. And strangely enough, since these platforms are made of ice, the weird thing is that you don't really slip on them. Like, it plays the sounds you hear of you walking on ice, but you don't slip. But I always thought that was kind of weird. And also, every time I try to push one of these things, I always seem to be going in the wrong direction when I do so. I don't know why, but yeah, so these things are basically, they're cutting off access to the pipes, so you're opening up pipes and letting the water flow. And basically, most of the puzzles in this temple involve just getting the water flowing and where you want it to flow and changing the flow, as I said earlier. Alright, but now that we have the ice arrows, pretty much the whole temple is opened up to us now. So, well, except for the fact that we have to change the water direction, but that's not too much of a problem. Okay. So this room, it's pretty annoying to get out of the water, because sometimes you'll find yourself, it's like, oh, I'm just about to get on, and then it just doesn't get you on. Alright, whatever. Alright, so what we're going to have to do is get to the waterfall on the other side of this. And careful with jumping as a Zora, because I said the whole diving thing, which it has killed me before. Well, not killed me, but yeah. So somehow freezing the waterfall at the bottom freezes it only at the top, which that's kind of a mess up of physics here. And I believe the rest of the video is just going to be trying to figure out what's going on in this room here. Alright, well, the way you get around this room is with the ice arrows, creating platforms and stuff. And careful, you might want to kill those Tektites beforehand. And I'm pretty wasteful when I use these things. I always think I'm shooting out farther than I really am, but usually I'm not. Like, and sometimes it's, you get to the point where you kind of see, it's like you shoot right in front of you. And here I'm thinking, okay, maybe I could. What? Why are you watching me? Okay. And yeah, I messed up. So careful when you go into the water. There's this one really big fish in here. I think it's called a Desbro or something like that. And what it does, it'll grab you and it'll kind of toss you around. It's kind of like the Dexy hand, except the fact that I'm pretty sure it deals damage to you. And in 9 out of 10 times, taking damage in any run, not just a 3-heart run, is detrimental to the quest, if you know what I mean. Alright. Ice arrow it up. See, it's not really going as far as I'd expect it to be. There we go. See, that's pretty far. And yes, you can climb onto these platforms, as in, if you know, whatever. But the main reason we're going here is because it has one of these things. Haha. So hopefully push it right. Yeah, as I said, I always seem to be pushing them in the wrong direction. Oh well. Alright. So over here, you could make more ice platforms for yourself, but I've always found it to be easier to just hookshot across. And also, right here, it's kind of a glitch, actually. As in, like, I try to shoot this Tektite, and I end up wasting the arrow. I'm targeting it. There's no reason I shouldn't be hitting it. So I'm just gonna waste a whole bunch of arrows trying to hit it. See, the arrows, they're going right through him. I don't know if it's supposed to do that for some reason, or there's something else I'm hitting, or I'm thinking it's just a glitch. But either way, you're gonna want to kill that thing, because he will be in your way later. And I figured the best way to do that would just be to maybe do that. But see, it's not even hitting him, so I have no idea what's going on here, and I've got really mad at this room. Mainly because of that stupid Tektite not doing what I want it to do, or dying the way it should. But whatever, I figured I'd just show it off in this video because I can, you know. One of the reasons why this temple is 5 parts long. 5 parts long, yep. The 4th part and the boss are only like a couple minutes long. They're not these huge 10-minute epic of videos that I always end up making. Also, don't break these barrels if you really don't have to. See, watch. I'm gonna shoot at it. And it's gonna go right through it, and it's really ticking me off. Like, see, whatever. Alright, so I figured after I'm through wasting my time with this guy, and he's got to the point where he's not even jumping at me. It's really weird. Okay, so, and the reason we're still hanging around this room is because, if you didn't guess already, there is a fairy in here. If your great fairy mask senses were tingling properly, then you would know that. If he's probably gonna start going for me like as soon as, and the whole point, you want to get up there. Sometimes you don't exactly have the right angle to do so, so you're gonna kind of want to make your platform a little bit off to the side, not directly under it, because the hook shot, it can't shoot straight up. Because I don't know, for some reason you can't aim it that way. I never really got that. Whatever. So go up here, and the reason it's at such a weird angle is to make sure you land on there. If you go up any of the other ones, you'll get a red rupee, and if you find it necessary, go for it. Alright, so that's 9 stray fairies, and we are on schedule with getting all the fairies so far. Alright guys, I'll see you next video. Peace.